Hey y'all, it's Ariel, and I'm so excited to be coming to you to share this new tool that I just came across a couple weeks ago. So it's called NotebookLM, and it's a part of the Google Workspace, and it is pretty phenomenal. I think the best way for me to explain it to you is to show it to you. So let's dig right in. You can Google search NotebookLM, or you can go to the website notebooklm.google.com. So again, this is something that's offered by Google. And if I were to put it in my own words, I would say that it's a really great way to make your own chat GPT. Or it's a really great way to interact and summarize with resources in a very focused manner. So I have made a couple of notebooks in my short time of knowing this tool. So I'm going to just make a new one with you right now. So when you go to Notebook LM, the first thing when it's your first time, it's going to ask you like if you want to try it. Just click try it or create a new one, and it will be associated with your um, personal Google account, or if you want to do your work account, be careful with that because some work accounts are going to limit what access you have. And so I did this on my personal Google account and it worked fine. So when you click create new, you're going to open up a page that says add sources. Basically what this is, it is allowing you to give sources that are going to create a database or like a resource for this whole chat interaction. So some people, like a lot of teachers, don't really care for Chat GPT because they feel like it is too expansive. Like where they're pulling from is too wide of a net to where you don't really know what you're going to get back when you're chatting with it. And so some of us like to kind of have control over where the information is coming from. And so here you have the opportunity to add files like PDF, text files, markdown files, audio files. That's cool that it even does audio files. I think that's pretty legit. Google Drive, anything that's in your Google Drive, you can pull it in. Uh, you can even do links like URLs or YouTube videos. Or you can even just like take a copy and paste of something and put it in here. Let's say I wanted to pull some information from like third grade math textbook. So I'm just doing this right now because why not? I'm gonna go to I want it to be a PDF. Now, here we go. So this is an actual textbook that is available for free online. Now, maybe you have your own, of course, you can do it however you want. This is a Common Core one. Maybe you want to look at one that's from the Teaks, whatever the case may be. I'm just using this as an example. It's 338 pages. I could totally download this as a PDF and upload it, or I could just take this URL and copy and paste it. So I'm gonna do that simple way right there. And I'm gonna put in this as a link. And it's a link to a website. So I click on website and I put in the URL. Insert it. It's going to take a little bit of time because it's quite a large file. And so this thing is spinning and it's basically uploading all of the information from that web page. And it's also going to rename my notebook once it's ready. So in the meantime, while it's doing that, I will kind of talk you through a few of the features that are available. In this middle, okay, on the left-hand side, you're gonna have your sources. I could put multiple sources. In fact, you can put up to 300 sources over here and just continue to add to the quote unquote database that you're creating. Then in this center section, you have chat. This is like your chat GPT or your Microsoft Copilot where you're interacting with AI to be able to ask questions and make suggestions and create things and all of that. I have not used it a lot, but from what I can tell, it's pretty legit. And so you can ask questions here. I'll demonstrate that in just a little bit once I explain everything else. In this right-hand side panel, you have Studio. Now, this is where the magic happens. So there's this thing called a deep dive conversation. You can generate a podcast and it will basically have a conversation based on the resources that you put in. In the customizations, you can actually have it to focus on certain things, like focus on division or focus on blank, give a summary of chapter 4 and it will do just that. It's two voices, a man and a woman. They are the same voice. You can't change them. and you notice that like anything anybody that created something on here is gonna have those same two voices. So it's kind of a limitation, but depending on what you're using it for, it is what it is. And then we have add notes. There are different types of notes that are shortcuts, like you can do a briefing doc. It even can make a timeline of events based on what type of resources you put in here, or sources rather. The timeline may or may not make sense for what you're doing. I really like the FAQ. So if you're creating something like a guideline or a handbook for something, and then you want to create frequently asked questions to be able to add to a website or something, then here it does that for you. The study guide feature is pretty amazing as well because it will create questions and give you answers so that you can adequately study for whatever the resource or the source rather that you put into this notebook. Y'all, I think it's fire, and clearly I'm talking really fast, but this is just an overview. I'll make a more detailed video on some of the little components of it. Another thing that I thought was really cool is that you can share it. So you can share this notebook just like you can with all the other things that you do in Google Drive and Google Workspace. You can create like a welcome note when you send it to other people, and you can even get analytics based on who has interacted with it. Notice that it says to see analytics, this notebook needs to be shared with at least four other people or users rather, and have some chat activity within the past 7 days. Y'all, I think this is a game changer for teachers, and it's gonna be pretty cool when you start allowing your students to interact with this chat, seeing what kind of questions they ask and just like what their interactions are like, based on you creating your own source. You're no longer just putting them out on any AI like Gemini, Copilot, or Chat GPT and having them ask questions, but you're actually creating the GPT itself, like the background that they're going to be interacting with. I think this is fire. Yo, y'all let me know in the chat what you think you could use this for and how you end up using it. The settings are also something that you have a little bit of control over. There's a Discord that you can join to like be in communication with other people about Notebook LM in general. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So going back, I've uploaded this source. I did it so using URL. You can upload different ways, but of course there are a maximum of 300 sources that you can put in. You can put in as many as you want, really. So here I am about to interact with this one source. I'm going to ask, what is the vision? Ah, what is the vision? Did I even spell it right? Okay, let's see what it does. So three dots, boom, boom, boom. Now it's spelled, even though I spelled it wrong, it came back and popped in my extra eye. Division is an operation that involves splitting a total into equal groups. It has a little one. You're like, what's that one for? Oh, that one is now going to tell us where this information came from. Whoa, it's in Spanish. That's cool. I wonder why. Okay, so the one tells you exactly within the source where they pull that information from. So if you click on it, it is going to go through the source and show you exactly where it was pulled from. And this is literally in Spanish. Now, that's a really good question. Since I'm making this video, I really need to find out why this is in Spanish. So I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to go over here to the icon for Notebook LM. And I'm going to go to this other textbook that I did. It's the same textbook, but I uploaded it as a PDF. And when I asked, what is the vision over here? It's telling me the same thing and giving me the source, but this time it's in English. Now that to me is going to present some questions, and now I want to dig deeper. But I don't want to get off what I'm doing, my little high level overview. So let's get back to it. You click on the little numbers, and that will indicate where exactly these sources came from. This is going to be powerful, especially when students need to be able to refer back to notes, or you're creating something. Let's say you're working on your dissertation and you're using this. It's going to show you exactly where they pull the information from so that you can cite your sources adequately. That is fire. Truly, truly fire. Look at that. Giving examples and everything. I love it. And so you can minimize the sources. You can refresh your chat. There's some things that you can do to change up your chat. You can have the conversation style be kind of like a guide or an analyst. You can choose your responses to be shorter or longer. Y'all, my favorite thing, and I have to do a different notebook for this, but I did one based on my education framework that I developed, and I made this audio interaction like this little podcast thing, and I just want y'all to hear it real quick.
Ever feel like, I don't know, like the way we learn in school is kind of stuck in the past?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it's not really keeping up with, with how we actually learn best.
Exactly. And well, you sent over this document all about a new framework for math and science.
So I'll stop it there. But basically, it made a whole little podcast directly about my framework that I put in as a source. Y'all, this is fire. Like, what could you do with this? I'm thinking immediately I'm thinking for my productivity, if I need to read an article and I don't really have time, then maybe I can create a quick podcast and listen to it on my way to work. Education wise, maybe I create an option for my students. Not only will they have an opportunity to read an article, but for my auditory learners, maybe I'm going to have them listen to a podcast on the same article. Of course, they can do text to speech and listen to the article itself, but having that interaction and conversation type audio file is sometimes better for our students to be able to make sense of the material. And so I think again that this notebook LM is really really going to be a powerful tool in the classroom, but also as a professional in just your productivity and how you interact with like resources and materials for work. I think it's going to be a game changer. Y'all check it out. Let me know what you think. And of course, I will do more detailed videos in the near future. Adios.